Hello, here I have for you today the Accelero Twin Turbo Pro. It's good for graphics cards like the 4870 or the 5870. I'm going to show you basically how to install it on a 5870 here today, and I'll post some results in terms of temperatures. Right now the 5870, it stays around like 70 degrees. It's pretty warm, it's pretty toasty, it can get a little noisy. If you look on the back of this, you may be able to see there's some nice little charts here that show huge drops in temperature and in fan noise on idle and on load. So I'm gonna first of all get the graphics card out here. This is an FXX 5870. It's a reference style design. This case here is, has a nice heavy door. It is a fractal case. And I have the Corsair Easy water cooling system here. The graphics card is not water cooled. This is stock voltage, stock clock speeds. Nothing has been messed around with on this card. It's been used for a bit, but other than that, it's good to go. Usually when I take these out, I like to turn the case flat down. Apologize, you can't really see in here while I do this, but I like to do this as it doesn't put strain on the PCI slots when you're taking it out. Now, if I can reach the connector here, we'll pop this card out. If you notice, I grab it from the top, but it does have a back plate on this model, so you don't have to worry about shorting out any circuitry. So, we got the card here, standard cooler here, tiny little thing here for exhausting all the heat here and on there. So yeah, it can get a little hot. So now you notice the computer case here has a nice big gaping hole. Let's open this guy up and see how it goes on. Oh, from this end here, it has a bit of a seal on it. Grab some scissors, slice it open. Maybe not quite that simple slice. Oh, it doesn't slice, it pops. Take it out here, get a better look at the cooler here. It has 4 heat pipes here, and it has a nice copper base with pre-applied heat paste. It has some little 3M spacers here, and it has, these aren't 120 mil, these are I think they're 90 some millimeters. I'd have to double check, but they're decent size. They're not 80 mil, and they're somewhere in between. They're rather thin profile fans, so they're not going to take up a huge amount of space. Might run into a little bit of spacing here. This could be pretty tight. I think it goes, yeah, it's going to go in this way, but it should hopefully fit in there. Might have to take out the sound card, but that remains to be seen. Also included, you have a fan connector here. You have all these little heat sinks. These go on things like your memory. I like this bit. Go right here and show you. These allow some better airflow at the back of the case, which comparatively, if you look to the one it comes with, much better airflow. I like having all these slots on here. I like the triple monitors at iFinity. iFinity is great, but I don't like the little tiny vent. Anyways, I'm gonna get this casing off this card here, and that'll take a little bit of effort. Some screws have to be taken off, and I will be back in a second. This is a 5870 totally naked. For those of you that don't know, I'll just go over some things here. This is your GPU. You do not want to mess this up. Also, this is the RAM bits, the GDDR5 in this card, and you have other things like Like these are your capacitors. Those don't require heat sinks, but these all need heat sinks. This over here I believe is a voltage regulator, and that one is too, I believe. There's a bunch of little ones. I think those are mostly for regulating your voltage. There's some sort of thing here. I don't think that's a chip. I think that... Not really sure what this guy is. I'd have to check that out. Anyways, it has power connectors on this side, and flip side of the card also I have removed the back plate. You need to remove the black plate in order to get the heat sink configuration off. You have the back plate a little bit, sorry, the mounting bracket. This is the back plate. It has been removed like so. And this is the heatsink fan assembly. Has, you know, some copper there, some little heat paste bits, well, kind of heat stuff, heat spreader stuff, and the fan assembly here. As you can see, there's no direct air right on the card really. There's a little bit here, but it's mostly just pulled through with, I believe there's heat pipes inside here. You can't really see inside the card, or inside the cooler unit. It's pretty sealed up. Anyways, I'm going to put the cooler on the card, and we will see that soon. And we're back. Here we have the fully installed card. It looks pretty awesome, I think. But anyways, so yes, you got the two fans on there, you got the 4 heat pipes, and check out what I did. I kept the back plate on because I like the back plate. It's, I think it's some sort of metal. It might dissipate heat. I like it. It has an ATI logo on it. It looks nice. I like it. Also, I don't worry about, you know, touching the guts of the card. Anyways, how I did that is I used little brass mounting pins for mounting motherboards, and I put screws through that to hold it on, since there's nothing on the front anymore to hold that sort of thing on. Anyways, see here, it has a fan connector, power connector here for the fan, and I think it looks pretty nice. Let's put it inside the case. I'm gonna just tip it on its side again here. Dust flies through there. Need to clean this case out some more. So it's actually shorter than before by a little bit, not a lot, but roughly the same dimensions. My sound card is kind of in the way of the fans, but I think the cooling will still work as it should. So I just need to throw. It has thumb screws in this case, the fractal case. Thumb screws to hold in the PCI slots, which is something you do not see all the time. And even with thumb screws, I take forever. Clean that dust off the table, and there you go. That's what it looks like. Lose the red theme. I mean, I like the red thing in my head going, but I get some cool heat pipes instead and better cooling. Anyways, so what I need to do now is find a power connector. Hey, look, there's a power connector. 4-pin Molex, plug that guy in there. You got your PCI power connectors. Throw those back in place. Those are 2 6-pin ones. And that is that. It is in, and you know, I just got to see what kind of temps we get now. You know, part of the reason why I'm upgrading this is because I'm using this Corsair cooler. This one is the recommended way to use it is have it on intake. So I have 2 fan intakes here, and it keeps a lot of heat right by the video card, unfortunately. And it just the way it circulates air is great for the processor, but the video card inside case temps around it are pretty high. At least I find they are higher than I would like. That's for sure. Anyways, so this type of cooler should hopefully, you know, get a little bit more air to the card. I'm thinking it does tend to get better results than the stock cooler on all the reviews I've seen. Anyways, that's all.
Alright, after installing the Accelero cooler, let's see how the temperatures are. This is about a couple weeks after I recorded the other videos, so it's had time to kind of settle in. The heat paste is on there. In a cooked state, I would call it. Sometimes it performs a little bit differently when you initially install it. Anyways, I'm just going to hit go here. We're doing 1280 by 1024, which is their standard kind of one, and I have it on benchmarking, and it's set on time-based for, I think that's 60 seconds. Let's just go and see how it does. So it's starting off in an idle of 55 degrees, which is better than it was previously. Um, Now, before I was idling as high as, more towards the high 60s, even 70 degrees, if I recall. Um, Now we're bumping up to 60 degrees here, which is still very cool. For Mark's known to be a fairly stressful test, and it's, of course, running it quite nicely. Uh, you know, for those of us that are fans of furry donuts, it's pretty cool to look at. This one's a little bit different looking. The newest versions of this than the old ones. Used to be a little bit more plain. Now it has like little bits of dark fuzz on it. I think the donut's going moldy, and it has a dragon in the background. It's trying to look all badass. Anyways, getting back to things, we've bumped up 4 degrees. We're at 64 degrees for our max, and wow, it really seems to do a good job. I don't really care about the benchmarking. It's not overclocked or anything. This is just regular clock speeds. Here you can see the kind of system I'm running. I'm running an i7. The stock speed on it's 2.8. This one is running 3.91 gigahertz. Oh, as you can see here. Yeah. And on 8 gigs of DDR3. Anyways, yeah, that's all.